Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from theuptrend.com. I won't keep you very long this morning. We've got retail sales numbers coming out at 8:30 that could certainly shift the market, but so far stock index futures are trading higher at the moment while commodities are mixed. Crude oil is up while gold is down so far in the pre-market on Tuesday morning. And of course, this is the day before the Fed announcement, and not expecting a lot of volatility today unless those retail sales numbers are wonky. Intel's in the news. It popped yesterday. It's up again in the pre-market this morning. Not really overly excited about that. It had to happen at some point. They had some big news out yesterday. It might help the CEO keep his job, but while Intel was moving up yesterday, the rest of the chip sector was pulling back. The biggest loser on the NASDAQ 100 was ARM, followed by Micron. And at the same time, we had Apple gap lower yesterday. We saw a pullback in NVIDIA and a pullback in Tesla on Monday. Tesla still trading within that range. It's sitting right on the upper channel line. Of course, a close below 217.02 would give us a sell signal on Tuesday. Not expecting that to happen. Of course, the bond market is in focus this week as the Fed meeting is going on, and we have had some change over the past couple of days. For the longest time, it was basically 50-50 whether we were going to get a 25 or 50-point rate cut. And now the probability of a 50-point rate cut has risen dramatically, and so that's what the market is expecting. Now, going into this meeting, the bond market is very overbought at the moment. All the bond ETFs that we follow are currently ranked at 10 on a scale of 0 to 10. And there's the 30-year bond making a new closing high on Monday, and there's the bond yield making a new closing low. So that's how things look going into this meeting. Now, sometimes the market buys the rumor and sells the news, and that could be what's going on right now, as there has been a lot of buying going into this Fed meeting. We'll have to see how the market reacts afterwards. I'm not going to do anything special going into this. Whatever I'm long, I'm long. Whatever I'm short, I'm short. I'm not going to make any changes going into the Fed meeting. Now, it was interesting yesterday. We did get some new all-time highs in the Dow, the equal-weighted S&P 500, not the S&P 500 itself, but the equal-weighted. Remember, the S&P 500 has those big-cap tech stocks, and they are weighted more in the S&P 500 itself than the equal-weighted. And so with those big-cap tech stocks pulling back yesterday, the rest of the index moved up. And there's the iShares for the TSX 60 also making a new all-time high on Monday. Now, while they were making new all-time highs, the VIX for the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell 2000 all moved up yesterday. So that's options traders being a little concerned about the market. Remember, when we talk about normality for these VIX indexes, this is normal back here. This is what a bull market looks like. And right now, being in September and going into October, you can see that the options traders are a bit sensitive about where we are in the calendar for the year and are a little concerned. And even though we're making new all-time highs in some of the indexes yesterday, options traders were still very nervous. Looking at what's working, well, consumer staples made a new high yesterday. We had a new high for real estate and a new high for utilities. We also saw the U.S. financials come back on Monday. What's not working? Well, the tech sector had a small pullback yesterday, and we had a small pullback over 1% for the semiconductors themselves. So not getting a lot of help from those big cap tech stocks that we love so much. Then moving on to the Canadian market, we saw an inside day for consumer staples yesterday, a new high for financial, a new high for banks. Gold stocks had a small pullback yesterday after making a new high on Friday. No change in trend, certainly. A new high for income trusts. We made a new high for real estate before pulling back slightly on the day. Telecom stocks pulled back slightly as well, still closing above the upper channel line. And there's the utility sector making a new high on Monday. Let's finish off looking at commodity ETFs and starting off looking at the energy sector. Here we are, bottom of the panic zones. Pressure zone has formed. We're starting to move up. For the USO, we're looking for a close above 71.29 to give us a buy signal on Tuesday. That would join gasoline, which closed just above the upper channel line on Monday. and joining natural gas already on a buy signal. Looking at the energy stocks in Canada, we're still trading below the lower channel line while the U.S. moved up into the channel. So certainly the possibility of a buy signal on Tuesday. Then looking at the miners, copper was up on the day. It turned around and closed at the low of the day, but certainly above the previous day's high. So no change there. We saw copper miners move up yesterday. Gold stalled up here. It was just the GLD was just down 2 cents on the day, so no big deal there. We saw the GDX have a small pullback as well. Now, this is looking like a pretty bullish chart. You've got higher highs and higher lows here, so the market's going to be watching if we get a pullback. Do we break that uptrend line or not? And, of course, that pullback has not started just yet. I just like to draw lines on charts in my mind and look at where the possibilities could be. Palladium continued to move higher on Monday. We saw a pullback for platinum yesterday, filling the gap. And then the price of silver was up slightly on the day. No real change there. And then we saw silver miners pulling back just a penny for the silver miners ETF. And for the small cap junior silver miners, it was actually unchanged on the day. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. I'm not doing anything new between now and the Fed meeting. It could be a buy the rumor, sell the news type situation. We'll just have to wait and see. But certainly we expect volatility to expand after 2:30 Wednesday afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Wednesday morning.